Fine. So we were discussing operators concepts, right? And we have seen the other day we were seeing few operators like what arithmetic operators, right? Arithmetic operators, and then we have seen relation operators, okay, and then we have seen equality operator, okay. Uh, Yeah, so Ashwini, I think you were there till I think arithmetic operator, right? So after that, we have continued just two operators. One is relational operator, and the other thing is the equality operator. Okay, so just to give a recap, right? So relational operator is helpful to check, like greater than less than conditions between any two variables, okay, just like how arithmetic operator is helpful to make some arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, etc. Using relational operator we can check the relation between two variables, like you can check between two integers or two floats, right? And you can also check between two strings also. In strings it is going to consider the ASCII value of the first letter, okay, but you cannot check between one string and one integer, okay. So you can uh, try to once go through the last 10 to 15 minutes of the previous class. I think that should be good. And the equality operator, in here we have two things. One is equal to and one is not equal to. So double equal, when you give double equal to, it checks whether the values are both equal or not. And when you give exclamatory and equal to, this means not equal to. You are checking whether this is not equal to this or not. Similarly, you can check for the strings also, and you can also check multiple conditions. So using multiple conditions, when you are checking, right, even if one of them is false, right, then the whole value will be false. Only if everything is true, same, then only it will be true. So, okay, so these are the basic operators we have seen the other day. So we next we have something called as logical operator, okay. We have something called as logical operator. Now here logical operator, uh, it can be applied, for two different types of variables. So one is uh, boolean and one is non-boolean. For example, if I show you, let me write and let me show you. So coming to logical operator, right? So when you have here, you will have and or, okay. Logical will have two conditions. So in logical, you can use and, okay, and or, okay. These are the two logical operators, and both of this logical operator can be used for two types of variables. One is boolean, okay. One is non boolean. Boolean and non boolean. Boolean, what boolean means, either true or false, okay. Non booleans means what, it is other than, true or false, okay. Normal strings, okay, integers, floats, okay. So now you can use this logical operator for boolean and non boolean variables data types, okay. So first, if you check for boolean data type, that means what, true, false are the boolean data types. So if you use the logical operator, that is and or for the boolean data types like true and false, it works like this. So when you say true and false, okay, when you are saying and operator, okay, what does and operator says? And operator is true, okay, it is true only if all are true, okay, if all are true. because we are saying and, okay, this should be true and that should be true. Only when both are true, the whole value will be true. That's the value of and. But coming to or, it itself is saying or this or that, right? So any one is true, then the value will be true. Okay, so if you see here, so what is true is true and false, right? That means what we are having, one false, both are not true. Agree? Both are not true, you are having one false. So the value will be false, because in and operator, only if all is true, it will be true. Even if one is false, then the value will be false. Okay, so that's the reason, if you see, true and false will be false. And if I, yeah, if you see here, as I said, only if all are true it will be true, else it will be false. So here true and false, that means one is false, then the value will be false. Okay, so here true and true, yeah, this is the required situation, both are true. Okay, both and true, only then the value will be true, the second one. Okay, here also one is false, false and true, that means one is false, so you are going to have one false. And both are false, obviously you are going to have false. Okay, so the one thing you need to observe is, only when you are using and condition, only if both are true, then only you will get true. Else in any other situation, you are going to get false, because you are checking and means it will check both the conditions. What are you are giving, both the conditions should be true for the overall value should be for to be true. Okay, so but if the in the other scenario, if you are going to check true or false, or false, okay, or will tell you, if any one of them is true, then the value will be true. Okay, if any one is true, value will be true. So now if I print this, if you see, initially you're checking true or false. Okay, true or false. So what we are having, one true, that is enough for the or condition, so it is going to give true. Second thing, true or true, obviously we are having one true, it is giving you true. Next thing is false or true. Okay, you are having one true, it is going you true. But if both are false, obviously it is false. So for or condition, even if one is true, then the value will be true. For and condition, only if both are true, then it will be true. In all cases, it will be false. Okay, is this clear, guys?
Yeah, Santosh.
Okay, Sirisha, Meghana, are you guys following?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So this is for what? Boolean. Okay, so as I said, logical operator is nothing but and or. Okay, and this can be applied to Boolean and non-Boolean data types. So now we have seen for Boolean data types, that means for true and false, if we apply how it works. Now let's say an example for non-Boolean data types. Now what is non-Boolean data types? It's just integer like that, right? So if I take, so we have just a rule for non-Boolean data types. So if you are applying for, okay, if for non-Boolean, for non-boolean, what happens is, if you when you are checking for like x and y, okay, when you're checking for x and y, so the rule is, if x is false, return x, else return y. Okay, so this should be marked down. So if I give 100 and, sorry, 100 and 200, I'm going to print and 0. Okay, so as you can see, when you are comparing two values x and y, okay, x and y, what does it mean is, if x is false, now x is false, now what is the integer value of false? Can anybody say what is that number Python understands for false?
Zero, sir.
0,
Zero. For true?
1.
One.
Right. So it means when x is false, return x. In all other scenarios, return y. That means what? When x is 0, the answer will be 0. Else, the answer will be y. So here if you see, when I'm printing 100 and 200, so the x is not 0. Okay. So the value is not 0. So in that scenario, you are going to print the y, 200. Okay. So in other words, if any one value, in other words, if any one value is 0, okay, then print 0. In all other scenarios, give the y value. That means that 200 value. Okay. So here if you see 100 and 200, you are going to get 200. But when you are printing 0 and 100, so 0 is false. So when x is false, return x. So that's why you are returning in the second scenario 0. Okay. So that is a just rule you need to remember. But when you're checking for or, it is if x is true, then return x, else y. Sorry. Okay, when you're checking for or condition, okay, when you're checking for or condition, it is simple. So if x is true, only then return x. Here it is different. When you're checking and condition, if x is false, then just return x. But in true condition, sorry, in or condition, if x is true, return x, else return y. Okay. For example, if you see, you might get confused if I put it higher, 100. So let me put some 50. Okay. See, when x is true, return x. Right. So here, when you're checking x and y, so 100 or 200, right? So 100 will be x, y will be, sorry, 200. So if x is true, so is 100 true? Yes, because any non-integer, non-zero value will be considered as true, right? So any non-integer value is true. So 100 is a non-zero value. So 100 is true. So if x is true, right, then return x. So we need to return x. So 100 is returned. Now in second scenario, else means what? If x is not true, okay, if x is not true means what? X is false. That means what? 0. So if x is 0, return y. So in second scenario, x is 0. That means x is not true. Then it will execute this else condition. So print y. That is what y is 50. So it's going to print 50. Okay. So these are the way how you can apply the logical operator and an or to Boolean and non-Boolean scenario. So I think Boolean is simple. So if for and condition, you need to have both true, only then it is true, else it's false. For or condition, any one of these true, then also it will be true. Only when both are false, only in that scenario it will be false. Okay, that is simple. Coming to non-Boolean, that means when you're applying to integer data types, you need to just remember these two rules. That is, when you're having and condition, right? When you're having and condition, if x is false, that means if one of them is false, the first one is false, then you need to return x. Else you will be returning y. For or condition, we are checking if x is true. Okay, if x is true, then you need to return x. Else you are going to return y. Okay, so
Once explain print 100 and 200, sir.
sorry.
Once explain 100 and 200, print 100 and 200.
Okay, this one, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, we are having 100 and 200. Now, this is x, this is y. When you are applying an logical operator for a non-Boolean, that means from integer data type, what is the condition? When you are applying x and y, if x is false, only if x is false, you will get, you need to return x. Okay, see, you need to understand when you are doing and or anything you are doing, the answer will be one of these. Okay, Sirisha. ఇప్పుడు see, whenever you are doing this condition, the answer will be one of these, either this or this. You're not going to get a third one. మీరు బూలియన్ లో చూసినా, ఇక్కడ చూసినా, ఇక్కడ ఏది అప్లై చేసినా, మీ టూ కండిషన్స్ చెక్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు మనం ఫైనల్ ఏం చెక్ చేస్తున్నాం అంటే ఇది తీసుకోవాలా అది తీసుకోవాలా, 100 వస్తుందా 200 వస్తుందా. ఓకే, నౌ ద రూల్ విల్ సే, నౌ అకార్డింగ్ టు దిస్ రూల్ వెన్ యు ఆర్ అప్లైయింగ్ ఓవర్ హియర్, యా, when you are applying the and condition, it is saying if x is false, return x. And when you are applying and condition, only if x, the first value x is 0, ఇది false అయితే అంటే ఇది 0 ఉంటే the answer will be x. Else if it is not 0, then answer will be y. So now if you see, first check x value. What is x value? 100. So is it false? It is asking x is false. Is it false? 100 false, huh? No, it's not false. Because why? False is 0, right? Any non-integer value will be true, considered as true. So 100 is not false, right? If it is not false, what we will return? We will return y.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if only if x is false, when you are using condition, just see only if x is false. Ante ee x అనేది only when it is false, that means 0. Then only you will return 0. In all other conditions, if x is not false, okay, if x is false, return. Else ante if it is not false, so this is not false obviously because 100 is not false, it is true. Then in that scenario you will return y. That means you should return 200. That's why it's written 200. Clear, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So next we are going to see next we are going to see one more operator called as assignment operator. So this is like a shortcut operator, I would say, so which will help you do little faster uh, addition, subtractions. Okay, this is simple. Okay, let's quickly see this. For example, if you're having x equal to 10, right? So now you can say x equal to x plus 10. Sorry, x equal to x plus 10. You can say this. This is simple. But instead of doing that, you can also say, okay, instead of doing that, you can also say x plus equal to 10. Now if you print x, okay, you will get the same answer. It's just a shortcut. So that means what? Normally if you're having x equal to 10, okay, then what we are doing, x equal to x plus 10 you are doing. That means what? Initially when you are saying x equal to 10, the value of x will be 10. Okay, the value of x will be 10. Now in the second step, when you are doing x equal to x plus 10, that means what? When you are writing any equation, what happens? First the right side will be calculated and the value will be stored in the left side. Okay, whatever equation you take anywhere, it will have two parts, right and left. So right side will be calculated first, okay, then it will store the value, whatever you are getting, it will assign it to the left side variable. So here also you are having in the right side x plus 10, but what is x? In the first line we already said x equal to 10. That means what? This 10 will come over here, this will become 10 plus 10, 20. So this 20 will now be replaced with x. The same, you can do the same x. So now the new value of x will be 20. Clear? So instead of writing this way, okay, instead of writing this way, you can also write in Python this way. That means what? X plus equal to 10. This also mean the same thing. This also means the same thing. X equal to x plus 10. So instead of writing x plus 10, you can simply write plus equal to 10. That means x equal to x plus 10. Okay, it's just a shortcut. And this can be applied to the multiplication also. For example, if you do, okay, x minus equal to 10, in the sense you will have 10 minus 10, 0. Okay, so x, when you are saying asterisk multiplication, it is called as x equal to x into 10. Okay, and when you're doing division, like 10 by 10 equal to 1.0. Okay, so like that you can apply it for any operators. And mostly when you are actually writing code, right, even if you check on GitHub the actual Python code, when people are writing in projects, they will use this operator only. Okay, that time you should not be confused what does this mean. Okay, so when you see something, a shortcut like this, like x equal to x plus equal to 10, it simply means you should be able to understand this. You just need to expand this as x equal to x plus 10. That's it. Okay, you will come across this many times when you're actually working. Okay, it's just a shortcut, so don't get worried. Now coming to one more operator, so a bit interesting operator, it's called ternary operator. Okay, it's called ternary operator. Now here ternary, in the sense, you can you will be able to check multiple conditions over here. Okay, so for example, if you have a equal to 100, okay, b equal to 200. Now the way how you can write this is, if a is less than b, x equal to, see, observe this carefully, x equal to 10, else 20. Print x. Okay, so now see what's happening over here is, you are assigning two values, you are creating two variables, a b, a 100, b 200. Okay, this equation operator is called ternary operator because you are checking between two values, two or more values, and you are assigning a value. So here the value of x, if you see the value of x, how you are assigning, first you are writing a condition, that means if a is less than b, this the mean, how you should understand this line. First let's see how you can understand the line number 4. Okay, let me zoom it a bit. Okay, it's already zoomed. Okay, yeah, the way how you should understand line number 4 is, first you should check the condition. If a is less than b, then the value of x is 10, else the value of x is 20. Okay, that's the way how you can you need to understand. Okay, let me repeat that. So when you're writing a condition like this, it means first you should start with the condition, because you're not directly assigning a value, you're not directly saying x equal to 10, you're not doing that, you are attaching this to some condition. So this means if a is less than b, then the left side one will work, x equal to 10. Else means what? If a is not less than b, okay, then it will go to else condition, the x value will be 20, the x value will be 20. Okay, so here what we are doing, you are assigning the value of x based upon a condition. You are not directly saying x equal to 10. Okay, you don't want to do that. Okay, you want to give x a value if this condition is true. To the same x you want to give another value if this condition is false. If it is true, you want to give a value. If it is false, you want to give a value. So you don't know whether this is going to be true or false. Okay, based upon that you are going to give this value. For example, think, instead of taking a to 100 to 100, you are just putting it in form of input form. Okay, that means what? You're writing input. When you write input, that means what? You are asking the user to enter some value. Okay, you are asking the user to enter some value. Now you don't know obviously what the user is going to enter the value. He can enter anything, 20, 30,000, 5,000, 1 lakh, anything, you don't know. So but your condition is based upon the two values he is going to enter, a and b. You are going to check that, and if a is less than b, then you want to assign a particular value to x. If it is not, then you want to assign another value to x. Okay, so the value of x what you are going to assign is dependent on the value you are going to receive from the input, or the values you are going to give here for a and b. Okay, so in that scenarios you can go for the ternary operator. So here when you are writing a and b, when I'm giving like a and b, a equal to 100 and b equal to 200, so first it will check this condition a and b. Now A is what, 100, B is 200. Is A less than B? Yes, A is less than B. So because the condition is true, because 100 is less than 200, it is executed the first one if condition. This is if it is true. Okay, that's why you are getting x equal to 10. If it is false, then it will print 20. Okay, for example, if you see, I'm giving A equal to 1000. Okay, now it will check A less than B. 1000 less than 200? No, 1000 less than 200 is false. So it will not go to if condition. It will go to else condition. It will print this. As you can see, it is printing 20. Guys, is this clear? Let me know if
Yes.
there is any difficulty. It's clear, right? Okay. Cool. So now, as I said, instead of us directly taking giving the value, why not we give it for an input? Okay. Now I will give an input. Okay, I will say enter value for A. Similarly, I will say input enter value for B. Okay. So now if I do this, it's asking for, okay, I'll use some 50 and some 60. Okay. Now it's getting 10. Okay. Now, can someone say, is this good, or should I include anything before this for input?
int of input because
Correct.
it considered as a string.
Correct. So you should always remember when you're writing input, it is by default it takes as string data type. So when you're comparing, you need to always just do typecasting. That means do type int. Okay. So now see, when I'm saying, let's say 50, okay, and when I'm saying 60. So obviously A is 50, B is 60, and A is less than B is true. So when A is less than B is true, it should give 10, right? See, when you are writing, when I have, it is prompting me to enter a value, right? So there I did not press enter. So then what happens means it will go into infinite loop. And as you can see, this dot, right? So this stays forever. Okay, that means the kernel is still running. So you just need to interrupt it. Okay. Yeah, so now when I run this for 50 and we need to give 60 and just press enter. So now you are getting 10. Okay, so if I show you one more example, so if I give 50 and 40, so 50 and 40, so A is 50, B is 40, so 50 less than 40, no, false, so it should give you 20. So you got 20. Okay, so that is uh, okay. Okay, instead of writing returning some number, okay, you can also write the condition also here, right? So that once you check the condition, you can play with it. If you want to return a number 1020, it's fine. But if 1020 is not making any sense, you can just write the number also. For example, here if you say here if you will say uh, given A is less than B. Okay, why? Only if A is less than B, that is true. We are going here, right? So obviously when it's coming here, it means that A is less than B. Okay. If it is false, it will go here, right? That means what? A is greater than B. Okay. So I'll give some 1000 and some 500. So A and B, A is less than B. That means 1000 is less than 500. No, false. So it will go to this condition and it will print A is greater than B. That means 1000 is greater than B. It is saying, okay. See, A is greater than B. It is printing this statement. Okay. So in other words, if you give some 400 and some 600, it is saying yes, A is less than B. It is printing this condition. Okay. So with this, just you can combine and write some small program also. Okay, so if you just try to change this to a small program, like if the question is read two numbers, okay, from user and print the minimum of both. Okay, if that is a small program you need to write, so you can simply write this, right? So the small program is read two numbers. You should read two numbers from the user, right? And just print the minimum of both numbers. You want to take the minimum value, so obviously this is where you can take one value as an input, b is another value. If a is less than b, okay, if a is less than b, here you can write a is the minimum number, correct? Else what, a is greater than b, that means b is less than a, so b is the minimum number. Okay, so give some 70, 90, so a is the minimum number, so 70 is the minimum number. Okay, and else if 90, 70, b is the minimum number. Okay, so b is the minimum number. So with this you can just write a small program. Okay, and if you, yeah, so similarly if you want to write to find to check the minimum value of three numbers, okay, minimum value of three numbers, so you can also do that. Okay, so let's see how you can find out using this same logic, a bit different. So how you can write a min value for three numbers. See, first initially you need to take the input. Okay, you need to take input from three members. Okay, like a, b, and c, right? So you took the input from a, b, and c, and after that to find out the minimum value. Okay, to find out the minimum value, what you need to do, the condition over here is minimum value is, you can write, if, see, let's try to understand this carefully, it might be a bit lengthy, but let's focus. If a initially less than b, okay, and a is less than c, okay, the value is a. Else if b is less than c, it is b, else c. Okay, so this is how you can use a ternary operator. So let's try to understand. See, initially what we are doing, start with the first condition. If a is less than b and a is less than c, a is less than b and a is less than c. See, you are having a, some b, some c. Okay, a, b, c. So what you're checking, if a is less than b and a is less than c, that means what, a is less than b, that means a is smaller than b and also smaller than c. That means obviously a is the smallest one, right? Agree? You're checking a is less than b and less than c. That means what? It will be somewhere like this. Okay, it is less than b and also less than c. You are having three numbers. If one number is less than other two, so obviously that will be the minimum value, right? So that's why in that case you are taking a. Okay, you are taking a. Else, okay, else, that means what? Else, that else means what? This is not the case. Okay, this is not the case. If b is less than c, okay, that means what, a is not the minimum value. Okay, a is not the minimum value. If this is true, see, try to understand, if this condition is true, that means if a is less than b and a is less than c, if both are true, then you are taking a, then that means a is the minimum value, a is the minimum value because it is less than both. That's fine. Else means what, if this is false, if this is false, okay, if any of you're using and condition, you see, okay, when you're using and condition, okay, when you're using and condition, you remember what happens when you're using and condition. In today's class itself we have discussed a and x and y, x and y, okay, x and y, if x is false, okay, if x is false, return x we said, okay, otherwise return y. So here, if this is false, if a less than b is false, okay, if a less than b is false, right? So you are going to go to the another condition and see else. In else condition, what we are doing? If b less than c, because when it is coming to this condition, when it is coming to this condition, that itself means a is greater than b. Okay, because here you are checking a is less than b is false, that means a is greater than b. Okay, a is greater than b. So again, you don't need to check if b is less than a, because when a is greater than b, that itself means b is less than a. This means that. So now we understood b is less than a. Now we just need to check whether b is less than c or not. So that's the reason here you are checking if b is less than c. Okay, if b is less than c, then directly print b. Okay, directly print b. Else, that means what? This is also false. That means a is also not the minimum. Here b is also not the minimum. So the only option left is c should be the minimum value. Okay. Okay. I understood that you did not understand. See, I'll just repeat once. First, you will check this condition: a is less than b and a is less than c. That means a is less than b and c. B and c. Okay. So if this is true, obviously a number which is less than both the other numbers is the minimum number. So obviously come here and print a. That's it. Else, that means if this condition is false, okay, if this condition is false, when the and condition will be false, when the and condition will be false, if any one of them is false, right? If any one of them is false, then the and condition will be false. Okay, okay, these are booleans, right? So when you're checking a less than b, you'll get true or false. Guys, you're there with me? When you're checking this condition, you will get true or false. True or
Yes,
false will
sir.
be the answer. Correct? So when you're getting true or false, what are these? These are Boolean values. Right? In Boolean values, when you're getting Boolean values, when you're applying a logical operator for a Boolean value, if any one of them is false, then also it's false. Okay? So if A, let's say if A is less than B, okay, if this is false, that means a is less than b is false, is false. That means what is true? A is greater than b is true. So a is greater than b, which means what? B is less than a. Same way, when you're saying a is greater than b, that means b is less than a. Now coming to else condition, here in else condition, you again have one if. Here you are checking b is less than c. B is less than C. Because why? You already understood from here. B is less than A. B is less than A is confirmed. You just need to check if B is less than C or not. If B is less than C, okay, if this is also true, then just print B. Because from here you understood B is less than A. And here you, if this is true, that means B is less than C also. That means two numbers it is less than, then obviously B is the minimum number. Else, that means this is also false. That means A is not the minimum. This is also false. B is also not the minimum. The only option left is you don't need to check anything. You can directly print C. C is the minimum value. Okay. So this is the way how you can just check. So let me give some numbers and we will understand. Okay. 100, 90, 100. Okay. Uh, 90. Okay. Here let's print. Print 90. Okay, the minimum value is 90, right? So here the b, this condition is getting executed. So first it will check a is less than b, 100 is less than 90, no, and okay, that is only false, right? 100 is less than 90 itself is false. So when you're checking A is less than B, 100 is less than B itself is false. So obviously this if condition is false, because even one is false, it's false for when you're checking for AND condition, even one is false also, both are false. The answer is false. So firstly, when it is checking A is less than B, that means 100 is less than 90, that is false. So directly it will go to else condition. Okay, and we understood from here that A is less than B, we understood. A is less than B is false, we understood. That means A is greater than B, true, which means B is less than A. So when it is coming to here, it already know B is less than A. That means what? 90 is less than 100. It is understanding. 90 is less than 100 is already it is having some knowledge. Now the only thing it need to check is B is less than C. That means 90 is less than C. Is 90 less than 110? Yes. If this is true, then both are true. Then come and print P. It will not check this one more else condition. It will just print directly B because both are true. It is printing 90. Okay. So it's just if else game. So we next when we're learning if else conditions, right? So you will understand it in a better way. Don't worry, even if you don't understand it now. But you can go through this explanation once, and that should be good. Okay. And after that, you have something called as special operators. Okay, so after that we have special operators, right? So as I said, don't get worried by number of operators. So these are all small concepts. So once you write right, so this will be your everyday use. Okay, so it's not like it's something very difficult to understand. In specialty operators, okay, sorry, special operators, it's very simple. So you have two types of operators: identity and membership. Okay, now in identity you are going to just check two things: is not. Here we are going to check in, not in. Okay, that's it. Very simple operator. Okay, so identity is not, membership is in, not in. Okay, now let's see what does this mean. So initially we are going to check is and is not. Okay, so as you can see, we already understood is will check what, if anybody remember, you can.
Identity.
Memory location, sir.
Sorry, what it will check?
Memory location.
Correct, perfect. So it is going to check the address or the memory location. So if I give A equal to some 10 and B equal to 10, okay. So just to give you a recap, I'll just give you a recap. When we are, yeah, when we are studying the immutability concept, okay. So we understood that for immutable data types, okay, for okay, let's say immutable, okay, for immutable data types, if you give for example A equal to 10 and B equal to 10, both of them will point to the same object, same memory location, because only for immutable, for data types which you cannot change, like integer, string, okay, like that. If for immutability data types, it will not unnecessarily create new memory locations, okay, because it will not allow us to change very easily, right? So that's the reason it's called immutable. So for data types like integer, for example, if you are assigning two different variables which are having the same value like 10 10, it will not create two different memory locations. Both of them will, it will create only one memory location. Let's say some address ending with some 789, some address, and both the values will be pointing to same memory location. Okay, even if you put C equal to 10 also, it will also come and point to the same memory location. As long as this notebook is running, if any new variable with the same value is getting assigned, first it will check whether there is already a memory location which is storing that value it will use the same memory location. Okay, but for mutable, this is immutable, that means unchangeable. But for mutable data types, for example, like list, right? Here, if you're having, let's say, list L1 equal to some 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I think now you can understand when I write something in square brackets, that is list, and L2 equal to same 1, 2, 3. Okay, even though I am using the same value, because list is mutable, it can be changeable. For mutable data types, L1 will take a one memory location. Sorry, L1. Let's say, okay, L2 will take one memory location. L1 will take a different location. Okay, for immutable data types. So even though value is same, it will create two different memory locations for the same value. Okay. So in that case, now you can, we will see practically, but now you can directly guess for these integer data types, the memory location will be same. That means the is operator will give true when you are having the same value like 10, 10, 10. But for immutable data types like list, right? For like list, you are going to get the is operator as false. Okay, you are getting false, right? But when you are checking equal to condition, here also you'll get true because the value is same. Here also you will get true because the value is same. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 is same, but the memory location is different. Agree? You guys understood this concept?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now if you see here, A is 10, B is 10. Now I'm printing A equal to B. So since we already discussed this now, first or second class, I think you can easily understand. So I'll just show you. See, A is 10, B is 10, right? So A equal to B will check the value. I'm just repeating. It will just check the value. That means whatever value you are giving 10, 10. This will check the memory location. Okay. So now A equal 10, B equal to 10. That means it is going to point to the same memory location. And how to check the memory location? What I should give?
ID, sir.
Huh?
ID.
Right.
ID.
Right. So if I print, yeah, see, A equal to 10, B equal to 10, A equal to B is true, A is B is also true. A equal to B, anyhow it will be true, same value, but A is B is true. How ID of A, ID of B, both are same. Okay. So this is condition is one of the identity operator. Okay. Now, if you give L1, as I said, L1 equal to 1, 2, 3, L2 equal to same 1, 2, 3, print L1 equal to L2, print L1 is L2. Okay. Now you can see, okay, let me also print ID, print ID of L1, print ID of L2. Okay. Now you can see here, as we just discussed, L1 is 1, 2, 3, L2 is same 1, 2, 3, but still L1 equal to L2 is true. This is first one is true. Okay, this is this true. That is because same value is same. But L1 is L2, that is false because memory location of L1 is this, memory location of L2 is this. This is two are different memory location. So for mutable data types like list, set, all the mutable data types, different every time a new variable, new memory location will be allocated, even if the value is same. So even for 1, 2, 3, again 1, 2, 3 also, one is given this memory location, another is given this memory location. So that's why is 2 is false. That means memory locations are not true. Okay. So that is the is operator. And if you just check, if you want to check in the reverse way, is not B will be false. Okay. it's just reverse condition. Okay, when you're checking is b is true, see, when you're checking is b is true, okay, or let me comment all the other things, it will be better to understand. See, you're printing only this a is b is true. Okay, you can also check in the other way around, in reverse way. If you check if a is b is true, a is not b will be false. Okay, so we just have one more another way to check this. Similarly here also, that means if, see, if person coming is true, that means person not coming is false, right? You are checking from reverse. Here also L1 is L1 L2, L1 is L2. Okay, if you print this, this is false. Okay, L1 is L2 false. Is not, okay, is not will be true, just reverse of condition. Is, when is true, is not will be false. If is false, is not will be true. Okay, so now is and is not are what? Identity operators. Okay, so just like the is and is not, we have, as I said, in specialty operators you have identity and membership. In identity you have is not. Okay, so we have seen is and is not. Now let's just see quickly in and not in. Okay, in and not in. So these are very, very simple. So now if you see membership operators, okay, now if you see membership operators, so it's very, very simple. It will just check if given a value is present in the given list or in the given variable or given sequence or not. Okay, so it's very, very simple. So for example, if you see, I'm saying x equal to, okay, x equal to some India. Okay, now if you print x, you are getting India. Now if I want to check, if I want to check a particular letter is in this x or not, you can simply print some letter D. Okay, D in, okay, D in x. Now x is what? India. I'm checking D in x. That means what? Indirectly I'm saying whether D is present in x or not, right? So what I will get? I'll get true, because the letter D is present in x. X is India. Okay, now if I print some F, it will give false. Okay, so it will just check whatever the value item you are giving in this particular variable. Okay, it's very simple. So it will check whether the given character or anything is present in the given value or not. For example, if I'm printing L1 equal to, okay, like India, America and China, for example. Okay, this is L1. I just want to check if, okay, if India in L1. Okay, so not if, print. You can, so you can give India in L1. It is checking whether this India is L1 or not. Yes, L1 is India, America, China. In means it will just check whether it is present or not. But if you give some here Russia, you are going to get false. Okay, I think it's very simple. Similarly, you can check the other way around. In, just like you have is not, you will have in, not in. Okay, not in. So now what will be the answer? Not in.
True.
Correct. So you're checking the other way. Russia not in L1 is true. Now you're checking whether it is not present or not. In means you're checking present or not. Not in means you're checking not present or not. Is Russia is not present. But if I give India, you're checking not present in L1. No, that is false. Okay. So it's that simple, and you can think it's very simple, but just the practical could be, let's say you are having a list of like 10,000 values. Okay, for example, you went to a school. Okay, you went to a school, and a school usually has from first class to 10th class, right? And each class you will have a section, like three sections. That means you are having total 30 members, and you ask them to give the student names of each and every 30 members. So you will have like each class will have 10 members, right? 300 each class will have 10 members, and so each class will have, I think 40 into 30, so 1200 students you will get roughly. So 1200 student names, if you for example put in a list, okay, and if you just want to check whether a group of persons are present in that or not, okay, just I'm giving an example, then you can check, you can just give that person name not in L1 or not, okay, or person name not in that person or not, okay, just an example, but you will know like where you are going to use it. So when you're writing programs, right, so you will clearly see how you can use this in and not in. Okay, so I think we understood membership operator clearly. Identity, membership, identity simply is not, okay, is not. So is just for memory location, as you see memory location is same or not. Membership operator I think is more important than this. We will rarely check memory location is or is not, because it is not in our hands, right? So we don't know where it is getting stored inside, so we don't much care about that. We only check whether the value is equal to or not. But coming to membership operator, where you are having in and not in, so this we are going to use many times, because many times we want to check whether a given value is present in this list or not. Only if it is present we want to do some code. If it is not present, then we want to do some other code. So like that we will be checking. So that's why memory operator, membership operator is a bit more important, I would say. Okay, so yeah, so that's the conclusion of operators, I would say. So we have covered like different types of operators, and you can once revise these operators, right? And yeah, so do we have some time, uh Sirisha, Meghana, or do you want to stop here?
Let's continue tomorrow, Santosh.
Okay, that works. Fine. So yeah, so that's all for today, right? So tomorrow, so till now we have considered the operator. So tomorrow we are going to start with one concept called as modules. So how you can import a module, okay? How you can import a module and use the functionality, and then we are going to see input function, right? So as I said, input function, how you can take different values and how to a bit a more efficiently use it. And there is one more function called as eval, how you can directly do eval. And then you will have how you can play with the print statement, okay, how you can directly play with the print statements is one more concept, right? So we are going to check these four things. After that, next class onwards, we are going to, as I told you, we are going to focus on each individual data type, the important. We are going to take one day for string to understand completely string. Next we will going to completely understand list, and then we're going to completely understand tuple, set, dictionary. Okay, so once we do that, then I think we are good to go for the next concept, that is iterators, like loops. Next concept will be the loops. So our goal is to first complete this, next complete have good understanding on the data types, then we are good to start with the loops. Okay, fine. So that's all for today. I think we are good. So if there are any doubts, you can ask, or else yeah, cool. So let's meet tomorrow then. Yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah, thank you, Santosh. Thank you.
Thanks, bye.